But first, teachers accused of having sex with students. A Bowser teacher pulled off the job for allegedly having an inappropriate relationship with a former student. This kind of behavior seems to be more prevalent these days. And today, a look at the psychology behind it. Welcome into Axe News at 5. I'm Lee Conklin.
And I'm Diane Larson. So what makes adults in leadership positions risk losing everything to have a relationship with a student? 13 ABC's Kristian Brown broke this story about the accusations against the Bowser teacher yesterday. And today, Kristian talks with an expert who explains the motives of people who find themselves in these types of situations. Kristian.
Well, when a teacher is found guilty of having a sexual relationship with a student, they lose their job, their teaching license, and in some cases, they face criminal charges. So why do they risk it all? One expert says it all comes down to the thrill. Adults in inappropriate relationships. It's the top story nationally and locally. This week, a former Baltimore Ravens cheerleader was arraigned on charges of having sex with a 15-year-old boy. A former Bowser dean was fired after being accused of being in a relationship with a student. This summer, a former Clay High School athletic trainer was sent to prison convicted of having sex with a 17-year-old boy. A few months ago, Scott High School's basketball coach Christopher Dames resigned after he was accused of having a sexual relationship with a student he later married. And this week, a Bowser math teacher is accused of having a sexual relationship with a student last year.
Almost like an addicted gambler, and they just can't stop themselves.
Erin Wiley is a therapist with Center for Solutions. She explains why someone would risk their job, their marriage, their family, and their reputation to have these forbidden relationships.
The experience must be that exciting that they're willing to risk so much. For most of us, we have enough impulse control to know when it's not safe to gamble things. But there are some people who do not have that ability.
Wiley says oftentimes these adults have a poor sense of boundaries and they see themselves as students. But there are ways you can protect your teen.
That we have to always keep the lines of communication open so our kids feel comfortable going to us. And I always tell parents in my office, don't feel afraid to take your kids' phones and to look through their messages, as I do with my kids. They know it's just part of the drill. If I permit you to have electronics, then I also have the ability to monitor them.
Monitoring and communication is key. In Toledo, Kristian Brown, 13 ABC Action News.